All right, this is the book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 5, and it says, "Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame." I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel. Shalom to you brothers out there that are laboring, enduring the elements, making your body a living sacrifice, trying to seal the elect, making your call and election assured, seeking out your own salvation, as well as you sisters that are learning, listening, and applying, being obedient to your husband. Shalom, shalom, all right? Brother Zachariah coming back to you with another sit-down lesson on this. It's actually a beautiful Saturday, man. I mean, clear skies. There's not even a cloud in sight. It's kind of windy, but it's feels good outside, you know? So I'm out here just out in my front yard, just want to knock out a couple of Bible lessons, man, before I go out into the highways and hedges this evening, okay? And let's see, we're going to dive into this one here, and it's a lot of sorrows happening right now, all right? A lot of these businesses are starting to go out of business. You got a lot of stores shut downs, and so when these things happen, it hurts a lot of people that are, you know, their jobs, you know, they have to relocate, and a lot of things were convenient. Maybe people work at certain places because it's closer to home, and you know, we're just coming into a time where, you know, eventually there's not going to be much work in Egypt, okay? Which we know Egypt today is America. You know, modern day spiritual Egypt is America. You know, this place, Babylon the Great. It has many names, you know, but we for the most part we call it Babylon the Great. You know, but this place is Sodom, spiritual Sodom, and it's also you know, spiritual Egypt. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into some articles, and then we'll bring out a few precepts, and then I'll go ahead and end it. And Lord willing, this lesson here be edifying to you all, okay? It says CVS is permanently closing hundreds of stores for a surprising reason, okay? And it says the drugstore and healthcare chain announced a slew of changes planned before the end of 2024, all right? It says it's no secret that the U.S. drugstore landscape has been consolidating at a jarring pace now that the pandemic has passed, all right? And it says, let's see, Rite Aid, all right, Get Free Report or whatever, has been reportedly toying with the possibility of filing Chapter 11 bankruptcies, okay? And this is Rite Aid, which I have an article on that one as well, okay? But they're filing for bankruptcy and liquidating many of its stores. It currently has some $3.3 billion in debt. Wow. The proposed deal would permanently shutter 400 to 500 of the chain's current 2,100 stores and hand them over to creditors or other interested buyers. Okay? And it says, with the pandemic now firmly behind us and brick and mortar retail at a crawling recovery pace compared with more robust corners of the market, drugstores have been ripe for change and perhaps inevitably, if I'm saying that word right, consolidation. Okay? Let's see. Look, they're even talking about Walgreens. It says Walgreens recently reported ways with its intrepid COVID era. I actually hate using those words. All right. Chief Executive Rosalind Brewer, who abruptly left on September 1st, the drugstore is now seeking someone with a deep health care experience to lead in today's dynamic environment, according to Executive Chairman Stefano Pacina. It's clear that if a U.S. drugstore isn't implementing change is being forced on it. Okay, force upon it, and more often than not, that spells trouble. And that's performing accounting for the sharp spike in shoplifting. See, shoplifting and other retail crime. See, shoplifting is really a bad thing. Like, man, I stumble across YouTube, and I'm telling you, like, I watch all types of videos of, like, crimes being committed, and you see a lot of people shoplifting in these stores. You know, a lot of the crimes is shoplifting. All right, which has cut deeply into the drugstore's bottom lines and forced some to either shutter or chain up frequently stolen goods. Okay, yeah, so you're seeing a lot of that. Okay, so that's one article there. And like I said, I was reading, they mentioned Rite Aid in the previous article, but I just want to read this one, and we'll just skim through it a little bit. And it says Rite Aid files for bankruptcy amid slowing sales, opioid litigation. Okay, it says drugstore chain, and these are just the key points. I'll just read these. It says drugstore chain Rite Aid filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, like it said in the other article. Protection in New Jersey. It also appointed Jeffrey Stein as its new CEO to steer the company through its restructuring plan. The company has been grappling with slowing sales, mounting debt, and lawsuit alleging it contributed to the nation's opioid epidemic. It says Rite Aid faces steep competition from its rivals, which have leaned into healthcare models to offset losses from their retail businesses. Okay, so this is another one, all right, and here's and this is Target, so it says Target closes select stores to prioritize team member and guest safety. It says, as Target, we take the decision to close stores very seriously, and only do so after taking meaningful steps to invest in the guest appearance and improve business performance. With that said, we have made the difficult decision to close 9 Target stores across 4 states, effective October 21st. All right, which I believe today is the 21st. Let me see. Yeah, today's the 21st. All right, so they're being closed today. All right, in this case, we cannot continue operating these stores because theft, and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests and contributing the sustainable business performance. We know that our stores serve an important role in their communities, but we can only be successful if the working and shoplifting environment is safe for all. Before making this decision, we invested heavily in strategies to prevent and stop theft and organized retail crimes in our stores, such as adding more security team members, using third-party guard services, and implementing theft deterrent tools across our business. Despite our efforts, unfortunately, we continue to face fundamental challenges to operating these stores safely and successfully. All right, so that's all I'm gonna read on that. There's probably lots more, but it's a lot going on, man. And also, stuff happening here locally. In my neck of the woods. All right, and I've talked about this. I believe I mentioned some of it in one of my highways lessons, if I'm not mistaken. But I know I did on social media. But striking workers in Louisville deliver serious economic blow to Ford. Union claims. They're under a strike right now. They're wanting a raise. They haven't had a raise in so many years. And they make good money, but Ford's making a big profit, but yet the pay has stayed the same for a very long time in that job, and they supposed to continue to bump you up. Matter of fact, at my job, we just got one of the Ford workers from over there. They're now working at my job, and I don't know if it's temporary until they come off the strike, but they got something called strikers pay, where they're making they're still getting at least $500 a week, and I said that's better than some jobs. I've been on my job for 16 years, but there's people on my job who has been there, and they're not even making that. Of course, they probably have been there a little bit, not as long as I have. There's been people that's been there longer than me. But there's people that's not even bringing that home. And that's a struggle to those Ford workers, But they make, like I said, they make really good money. But that's hurting. Them on strike is really hurting that company. All right. And it says it's been more than a week now since the United Auto Workers Union launched an unexpected strike against Ford Motor Company's highly profitable truck plant in Louisville. Charles Hill has worked as an electrician at the Kentucky truck plant for 11 years. On Friday afternoon, Hill was on the picket line just outside the plant demanding better pay and benefits from his employer. Hill is one of the 8,700 Ford workers who walked off the job. So that's a lot of people that walked off. and are now getting by on just $500 a week. See, this is what I was just talking about, a week in strike pay. So they're getting that strike pay, which is $500 a week. You know, that's a luxury to some people, you know, but like me, for example, I live within my means. So, you know, I can live off of $500 a week. But, you know, I understand, you know, certain people, you know, they might have kids. They, you know, when you make more money, a lot of people's lifestyles increase, you know, and they might have homes where they have real big rent and stuff. So, you know, they could be hurting. You know, 500 just won't cut it, you know. Hell, you know, even when you're living within your means, because inflation, everything's going up, but they're not paying, these jobs are not paying, you know, so it's becoming more and more a struggle, you know. And ultimately, I think all this is a plan of Esau. He's trying to, like, really make it so hard on the people to the point to where they're like damn near homeless, and they will have to, you know, they're going to depend on him. He's going to come through, because, you know, ultimately all this is his doing anyways. This devil is really he's crashing this economy, man. All right. And it says we're all making sacrifices for what's going on right now. We're all just willing to stand together. Some of us will have to make more sacrifices than others, Hill said during a Facebook Live address to striking UAW workers Friday afternoon. Union President Shawn Fain said while Ford has increased wage and benefit offers, he believes the union can gain more if it holds out longer in contract talks. The brave members at Ford's Kentucky truck plant joined the stand-up strike on a moment's notice and delivered a serious message and a serious economic blow to Ford Motor Company. Fain said Ford has offered a 23% pay increase over the life of a 4.5-year contract. The United Auto Workers want 36% raises over 4 years and are using the KTP as leverage. Ford Motor Company is hurt. It's hurting them. It's hurting us. It's hurting our economy. It's hurting the supply chain. Just like they said, they are risk versus rewards. They are short-term pains and long-term gains, said Tom Doon, who leads the UAW in Louisville. All right. While workers on the KTP picket line are feeling pain in their bank accounts right now, Hill and others told WLKY News they are hoping to make up any losses with a better deal, including big raises once the strike settle. All right, and that's all I'm gonna read on it, because, you know, this stuff, you know, when you read these, you can go on and on. Okay. But the scriptures tell you in the Apocrypha there'll be sedition among men, there'll be uproars of the people, and you could call this uproars. People are upset, they're not making enough, and they're on strike. You know, that's uproars of the people and the sedition among men, you know. But it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse, man. But, you know, all this stuff is in the scriptures. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. All right, and it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened. All right, verse 4, and the door shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, like you're seeing, that's what you're seeing right now, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay. So all this is prophecy, man. You know, that grinding has ceased, man. You know, this is another scripture. Like I told you earlier, you know, America is modern day Egypt, man. It's spiritual Egypt. Okay, so you could take this scripture here and apply it to, like, the stuff happening in America. All right, even if this was talking about ancient Egypt. This is Isaiah 19:15. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or root may do. Okay, so you're not going to see a lot of work. You're going to see a lot of people losing their jobs. You know, people are starting to take lesser paid jobs, you know, because of, you know, a lot of these big companies, you know, strikes, bankruptcy, you know, they're having to shut down, you know, because of theft. What the scriptures tell you, thou shalt not steal. But, you know, a lot of people are not hearkening to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know. It tells you in the scriptures that, you know, that sin will increase, you know, in the last days. You know, You know, the love of many will wax cold. You know, you're seeing all that stuff. You know, iniquities shall abound, you know, which iniquity is sin, you know, and that's what you're seeing. Okay? But it tell you, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or root may do. Okay? All right, I wanted to go to the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, and I'm just going to read verse 1, but I'm reading it in the NLT, okay? You know, and it says, you should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there shall be very difficult times, okay? You know, Matthew 24 and verse 8 tells you that these are the beginning of sorrows, okay? All the stuff that those articles I just read, all that's the beginning of sorrows, man. You know? This is what you're beginning to look at, all right? This is Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt not no more be called tender and delicate. Okay, this place hasn't been touched. You know, everything was prospering. You got people from other nations that come over here, start up businesses, and life is just great. They send the money back to their people, and meanwhile they have the Israelites here being oppressed in the worst places in America, in the ghettos, you know, and destroyed homes, broken homes, being oppressed, you know. But this place is really crumbling. It's gonna get worse and worse. It's gonna get so bad that a lot of these people of these other nations are gonna flock back to their homelands and be amongst their people, you know, because it's getting bad here, you know. And like I said, I got some stuff I'm gonna bring out later on the highways and hedges. You know, just going more into detail, you know, food shortages, famines, wars are coming. There's a lot of stuff, man, going on, you know, which like I said, I'm going to bring that out later. But just wanted to do this sit-down lesson to show you, you know, these stores are closing. You're seeing more and more. And there's way more stores than just this. I just brought out a few, you know, for the sake of time. But there's many more stores, man, out there closing. Even some of these small businesses that, you know, they're struggling, you know, ever since after that pandemic stuff that happened. You know, they haven't been able to recuperate from that, you know, and they're struggling to get back, you know, up on their feet. Okay, I got one more precept that I'm gonna bring out, and then I'll go ahead and end it on this. All right, this is Revelations chapter 18, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. And it says, how much she have glorified herself. And that's this place, America, man. She has glorified herself, man. You know, being very boastful and proud. You know, she has destroyed many nations, many peoples, many cultures. You know, like I said, what she's doing to my people, the Israelites, to this day, man. Okay, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. They have lived really good. So much torment and sorrow. Remember, I told you these are the beginning of sorrows, and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Okay, see, that's proud. You know, what does it say over there in Obadiah? The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. You know, so she's deceived, man. This place, Babylon. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, which we're going to go into that in a lesson later, you know, with the food shortages and stuff. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God. You know, this is Yahweh who judgeth her. Okay, so Yahweh's gonna judge this place, man. All right, verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication with her. Remember, I told you these other nations that came over here and did business with Babylon and lived, you know, deliciously and all that. You know, this is what this is talking about here in verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, because this place going to be destroyed by nuclear destruction, you know. So, you know, these businesses and all that, that's just the beginning of sorrows. This is going to get worse. So that's why I told you, when it gets worse, that's because this place is going to be utterly destroyed, man. And the only way you're going to be able to get out is hearkening unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. You know, coming back to him, especially if you're an Israelite, you know, so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American, you know, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. You know, come back and hearken unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in these last days, man. You got to do it before it's too late, because this place is through, man. It's going to be destroyed, you know, and you don't want to go down with this place, you know. Put your trust in him, and he'll provide. He'll keep you in these days, because it's going to get bad. But like I said, the elect will eat, you know, the elect will drink, and the elect will rejoice, you know. But those that outside of that are going to do the opposite. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be thirsty. And then they're going to be full of shame. And they're going to cry and bewail and be sad, you know. Have their head down low, man, because they didn't hearken to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. They didn't hearken to his men that are on the highways and hedges. And this place is through, man. And they're going to go down with it. Okay? So, Lord willing, you found this lesson edifying. I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel. And shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Until the next one, shalom.
Today was one of those days where I felt like life is just passing me by and I'm not doing anything with it. Like, is this really what our purpose of existence is? To just like do the same thing over and over again? Get up, go to work, go to the gym, come home and go to bed. We spend majority of our lives just doing this rat race, and it quite honestly eats me alive.
There's frustration with the 9 to 5 where it's just not enough, where work is not fulfilling the promise that it did for the boomers and beyond. A starter salary is not what it used to be, and the way that we work and live has had to evolve around that. This generation has to go about things differently. Gen Z seems to be searching for broader freedoms and a world dominated by corporations and advertisement. And also, if you have a feeling, just medicate it. And also there's student loans and a housing crisis, and we have this hyper individualism. Also, the earth is burning. And so some would say, well, just give up, but all you can do is try and save it.
Right now in America, there are more second jobs per household than there has ever been since they have been keeping track.
We are living in a world where it's impossible to survive. The cost of living is exorbitant. Groceries, exorbitant. Everyday necessities, exorbitant. And people are making shit wages. And now I have to go back and think, am I gonna have to get a second job just to cover my student loans? This is not sustainable.
The world that we live in is not sustainable. And we are absolutely living in a silent depression. And we need to talk about this a little bit more.
The majority of the population is depressed and is burnt out. And then you're beating your own self up because it's a nice day outside and you can't even get out of bed.
I'm not unmotivated, I'm exhausted.
We are not meant to just pay bills and die and work our asses off until we're old and we don't have the energy to enjoy our life.
We don't have money to retire. We barely have money for groceries. We don't have the energy to do anything because we're constantly being traumatized by everything that has happened in the past 4 or 5 years.
None of us are okay. I feel like we're all in a darker place mentally than we've ever been. Things are not getting better. It feels like the end of times, and yet we're forced to go to our 9 to 5, shrug our shoulders, and pretend like it's all fine. It's not fine.
So at the end of the day, we have two choices. Stay quiet, sit down, and let this new version of slavery kick in where it's not even chains and whips, it's taxes and fees. Or we can get some shit done.
The world is full of people who want to make a difference. People who see wrong in the world, they know how to fix it, they know exactly what we should do. And we have no power.
Capitalism is destroying the planet. The rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer. We're getting priced out of literal roofs over our heads. Rent is so high. Eggs are $20 a dozen. Wages have been stagnant since the 1990s. Everybody hates each other for no stupid reason. We just keep gaslighting ourselves into believing that if we go to just enough therapy or read just enough self-help books or do just enough mindfulness exercises, that somehow we will find peace in this absolute clown show that humanity.
I have a full-time job that years ago I could have raised a family on what I make. And it's like now I have to do side hustles, to supplement my income because it's gotten so fucking expensive to live.
It's crazy you have to work 75% of your life, donate, give up 75% of your time pretty much just to literally survive, just to live. Not to live comfortably, not to live well, just to live.
And you're having people struggling over money struggling over food, struggling over finding a place to live, what do you think you're going to expect from America? You're going to get more violence. You're going to get more people attacking other people. You're going to get more of the looting in different stores.
And then it's like I woke up all of a sudden and my insurance has doubled, food has fucking tripled, gas is so expensive, electric bill over double, my fucking rent went up. I can't be the only one that's drowning.
Everybody is going through this bullshit. Everyone. Can't go to Canada, can't go to the UK. Everyone is dealing with just not being able to sustain life.
I've never had so little money in my entire life. All of my money goes towards my bills and food for me to eat. And half the time I have to choose between filling my car with gas or eating.
Wish that I could just have a job and do my job and go to work every day, and it would just pay for life. It would pay for a roof over my head, it would pay for food on my table, it would pay for medical bills, it would pay enough for me to like save money so I could retire one day, you know, like basic things.
I am 36 years old and I have nothing to show for 20 plus years of work.
$70,000 a year, not enough? Is a bachelor's degree not enough? Is 2 jobs not enough? And the only thing we hear is we'll stop Starbucks and stop your brunches and your 3-day vacations. If you get up and take care of your house and take care of your friends and your family and your body and work 50 hours a week plus commuting, don't you think that person deserves a night out or a Sunday?
At what point is it literally just too expensive to live? Like when do we, because we keep on talking about it, we keep on talking about inflation, and we keep on talking about salaries not meeting it, and we keep on talking about the minimum wage, and we keep on talking about all this stuff, but like at what point does that bubble burst? And it literally is just too expensive to be alive even if you're working a full-time job.